Voiceover
What's
on.
up, y'all? I had the most incredible experience of my life yesterday. And today I'm going to tell you all about it. All I gotta say is, oh man, I cannot even put it into words of how indescribable this feeling is. So yesterday I went skydiving. I went to Skydive Spaceland, Dallas. I think it's on the north or east side of Dallas, near Trenton and the White Wright, Texas area. I have always dreamed of wanting to skydive, and I'm an adrenaline junkie. I've done roller coasters and bungee jumping, but skydiving is something I have been really wanting to do ever since I was a little boy, and it finally happened. So we get there, right? And the building is so nice and clean. Everybody is very friendly there and very professional. And all I had to do was just sign a couple waivers, and I was on my way to class for the safety briefing video. And the video covered some very important things. It covered your safety, the risks you're taking, what to expect during the actual diving from the plane. It would be a jump from 14,000 feet and a free fall to 6,000 feet, which is about a minute. And then you got to deploy your own parachute, which my instructor helped me out with. And after that, we went out to the gearing area. There was a little bit of a hold because of clouds, but it was only like 10 minutes, which was great because it was a partly cloudy day, so I wasn't worried. So I get out there. I'm sitting on a little chair. My instructor, Tim, who was really, really awesome, walks over and he brings me over to fit me into a tandem harness. It only took one try, and I was fitted and comfortable. I was really comfortable. It was nice and tight. And he gave me some instructions on what's going to happen before, during, and after the dive. One important thing he said to me is, when we're standing in the airplane, we're not going to be straight up, we're going to be crouched low, and for me to put my head on his head. And then as soon as I felt my body leave the plane, is to arch forward and get my hips forward as soon as I feel myself beginning to fall and leave the plane. And to just hold onto my harness until he taps my shoulder to bring my arms out. And that meant I would be free from hanging onto the harness. But for some people, the adrenaline can catch them, that they might flail the arms for a second, but then they'll realize they got to hang onto the harness. And he's really knows what he's doing. He's been skydiving for 4,100 times. And I talked to my family, and we have a good time. The next thing I knew, it's time to board the plane. So my family goes outside. And as soon as I got outside, I'm talking to him, and we both decided we would be the first ones to jump out, or I would. So I'd be the first one out of the airplane as soon as the door opened, so we would be at the very front of the bench. It's still a seat, but it's like a bench. So these planes are different than the commercial airlines. It's like the bench at the wind tunnel, but I can't describe it. But yes, so as soon as we get outside, my instructor hears the plane, and we both hear the plane, and he's like, "Do you hear that? That's the excitement right there. That's the excitement for us." And I got even more pumped up. Don't get me wrong, I was still nervous about what was going to happen, but I was pumped up. And then we get into the airplane. He helps me get in there. I had to really duck my head down low because those metal bars can hit your head if you have your head up like that. Brings me over to the bench. A seatbelt goes over my harness, and there are goggles on my harness. And he's behind me. And then, before I knew it, we started moving. And all the videographers and instructors and tandem students were pumped up. And I could tell some of them were nervous, but they were hyped. But 30 seconds after taxi, we are on the runway and we are moving really fast, taking off. And as soon as we left the ground, my instructor said, "Oh yeah, oh yes, we're off the ground, buddy. There'll be a moment right here coming up." And then in that moment, when the plane took off, a sense of calm came over me. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like, you felt so calm. And I began to feel really excited inside, and I began to smile, realizing that this is going to be a huge moment. But I was still nervous. But I can it's like it's becoming so real. It's like the big moment is getting closer and closer and closer. At about 5,000 feet, the instructor attaches my chest. Yeah, he starts to attach us a little bit. I think it's by the chest. And then we are just connected a little bit. At about 9,000 feet, he gets us connected the rest of the way, so now we are fully attached to each other. And the goggles go around my neck. And I knew it would not be long. And then we are at 11,000 feet. And the instructor places the goggles over my eyes, and he helped me get it all the way on. And I knew that, holy crap, I'm about to be jumping. That's what I thought. I was like, oh man, I cannot believe what I'm about to do. What have I gotten myself into? Next thing I knew, I was at 14,000 feet. Plane gets a little quieter for a second, but then the door opens. My instructor instructs me to hang onto my harness. We are slowly moving towards the end of the bench. He's rotating us. Next thing I knew, we are in a crouched position standing. I'm at the very edge. My instructor slowly brings my left foot over to the edge, and at this point, he's in full control. I'm standing there right on the edge, hanging onto my harness. My left foot is barely on that plane. And then, before I can think a second, I fall from the plane. I cannot even put into words how amazing this part was. As soon as the instructor pushed us out, how can I describe it? It's just so amazing. I am literally doing it. I am actually doing it. I have a rush. I felt an unexpected rush I have never felt in my life. It is not a falling feeling. It's like you are literally flying. Adrenaline, euphoria, blissfulness, gladness, happiness, pure joy. All of those emotions are hitting you at the same time. And you feel so good, and you're so excited. All you can do is just scream. However, you cannot hear yourself because the wind is so loud. And also, you're going at super high speeds at terminal velocity. And my arms kind of flail a little bit, but I regain the grip on my harness. And about 5 seconds later, the instructor taps my shoulder, and that meant arms out. And I'm just having the best time ever. Again, it's like euphoria, adrenaline, blissfulness. All these things are hitting you at the same time. And you realize, this is freaking amazing. I was actually freaking doing it. You feel like you are free. You're flying away from all your troubles. You're flying away from all the bad stuff. Your fear is left behind. You feel like you are on top of the world. You feel unstoppable. You feel like you can do whatever the heck you want. Anytime, any day. This is This is a feeling I cannot even put into words. How incredible this moment is. And my instructor spinning me around and around and around in circles while this is all going on, and I am in free fall. And then we actually spin around a couple times. I can't stop screaming because I'm just I cannot even put it into words. It's out of this world. 60 seconds go by, my instructor grabs my hand, and I freaking deployed that parachute with his help. Next thing you knew, I'm in an upright position. I cannot believe what I had just done, but now it's all really calm, quiet. I'm talking to my instructor. He gave me some steering toggles. Letty, stop it. Sorry about my dog. But I got to help steer the parachute. And I chose the wild ride, which means you can do crazy spirals. So I spun around and around and around real fast a couple times. And we even flew through a cloud. That was really, man. That was great. But then it was time to land. And that's the skydive.
Screen take pic stop recording.